Alright, what's happening, ladies and germs? We're alive once again. And it looks like OBS is still being a dick, so it's looking like I might have to reboot the computer when I'm done with this. So let's go ahead and get into it. This is the fuel and your review of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Alright, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the Packerman, and welcome to second edition of 4 of the fuel tonight, or today. In this one, we're going to be reviewing the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix from Imola in Italy. So, let's go ahead and get into it. Well, first, episode number 84 for the fuel. Title of this episode is Chaos at Imola, because that's basically what it was. So, let's go ahead and get into it. 63 lap race. A bit of rain in the area for the start, so everyone starts on some form of wet tires. There were a few that were on full wets, but a majority of the field was on intermediates. Charles Leclerc actually spun on the formation lap, but got it back going again. So Vettel has to start from the pit lane. Hamilton starts from pole. But Hamilton and Verstappen are door-to-door for the lead, but Hamilton bounces over some curbs at the Tamburello chicane and does a little bit of damage to his front wing. Verstappen takes the lead. Latifi and Sainz going wide and spinning at Aqua Minerale, as it's called. We had our first safety car on lap 1 once again. Nicholas Latifi buries his Williams into the wall after contact with Nikita Mazepin. So once again, Nikita Mazepin involved in the first safety car of the day. Mick Schumacher crashes under the safety car, trying to warm his tires up on the pit straight. Good job, Mick. Verstappen leads on the restart on lap 7. Sainz gets by Gasly for 6th. We have a big pack of 5 cars fighting for 6th into the Tamburello chicane, which was among them Gasly, Norris, Stroll, and Bottas. Verstappen setting fastest laps consecutively, just getting faster and faster. Gasly was going backwards at this stint, being one of the few on full wet weather tires, which wasn't really working. Sainz goes into the gravel trap but keeps it going. FIA investigating whether Sergio Perez overtook under the safety car, because during the safety car he had actually gone off into the grass, actually spun out, and he had lost positions, and since he wasn't maintaining speed, he had to give those positions up, but didn't do so. So Perez is hit with a 10-second penalty on his pit stop for overtaking under yellow. Russell gets by Gasly for 10th, moving up into the points on lap 13. Verstappen continuing to set fastest laps. Sainz nearly buries it in the gravel trap once again, but keeps it going. Gasly finally pits for intermediate tires on lap 16. Norris gets by Ricciardo for 5th on lap 18. Vettel was the first to switch to slick dry tires, mediums in this case, on lap 22. Vettel hit with a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for wheels not being fitted at the 5-minute signal. So what had happened there was the Aston Martins have been having brake problems during this weekend, and there's a certain time frame where you have to have your tires bolted on before the start of the race, and apparently Vettel's car was not fitted with tires before the 5-minute signal at this point, so that's why he was hit with a 10-second stop-and-go penalty. Hamilton starts closing the gap to Verstappen on lap 25. Sainz gets by Ricciardo for 6th in the Tamburello chicane on lap 27. Verstappen pits from the lead for dry medium tires on lap 28. Verstappen cycles back with the lead, but has to pick through some back markers. DRS was finally enabled on lap 31. They don't enable DRS in rain conditions. Bottas goes a lap down to Verstappen, which was a huge surprise. Hamilton goes off into the gravel trap in turn 7, but is somehow able to escape, and he's able to stay on the lead lap thanks to a safety car that happens on lap 32 when Bottas and Russell crash hard at the Tamburello chicane after Russell tries to pass Bottas and gets onto the grass. Hamilton pits under the safety car to replace his front wing, and the FIA puts out a red flag to clean up the debris at the Tamboro chicane because it was just everywhere. Kimi Räikkönen spins under the safety car, and Verstappen nearly loses it himself from the race lead coming to the green. But he leads on the restart on lap 35. Norris up to second by Leclerc, so Norris with a great run. Yuki Tsunoda spins at the Tamboro chicane, but gets it back going again. Perez off into the gravel at the Villeneuve chicane. Hamilton gets by Stroll for 6th. DRS is re-enabled on lap 39. Hamilton gets by Ricciardo for 5th on lap 42. Yuki Tsunoda is given a black and white flag, basically a time penalty flag for track limit violations, which is a 5-second penalty. The battle for second is heating up between Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, and Hamilton on lap 48, with Hamilton getting by Sainz for 4th on lap 50. Norris starts reporting a vibration on the car. Didn't really know what it was. Hamilton gets by Leclerc for 3rd, getting back up onto the podium. FIA investigating Räikkönen for a restart infraction after the race. Norris tries to hold Hamilton at bay for 2nd. Gasly goes off into the gravel trap but keeps it going. Norris starts reporting possible clutch problems. Thankfully it held together. Hamilton gets by Norris for 2nd into the Tamboro chicane with 3 laps to go. Mazepin spins at Aqua Maranello. And Max Verstappen earns his 10th career F1 victory at Imola. And afterwards, Räikkönen gets a 10-second penalty for a restart violation, or a restart infraction, I should say, after the red flag. Hamilton and Lando Norris round out the podium, so Norris gets on the podium for McLaren. So just based on what I've seen so far this year, it's looking like the 4 best teams right now are Mercedes, Red Bull, McLaren, and Ferrari. Ferrari in particular, I mean, after the last couple of years where their engines have been basically poop, they're starting to regain some of their lost form. And they're going to try to make it a dogfight in this top 4 for the championship, as far as the constructor standings go. So, race results for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. Max Verstappen with the win, winning by 22 seconds over Lewis Hamilton, with Lando Norris rounding out the podium. Then you had the 2 Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz in 4th and 5th. And the rest of the top 10, you have the other McLaren, driven by Ricciardo in 6th, Pierre Gasly for AlphaTauri in 7th, Lance Stroll for Aston Martin in 8th, the team formerly known as Racing Point. And then the 2 Alpine Renaults of Esteban Ocon and Fernando Alonso getting into the points at Imola. So, overall lead changes, it was basically the same as the previous race. 3 overall lead changes, 0 pure lead changes. I mean, Verstappen was basically unstoppable. And 2 safety cars. And my final rating for this race, I mean, there was definitely a bit of chaos with the rain and everything. The lead was never really a challenge, but Hamilton's recovery was pretty good. So, overall, I'll give this a 5 on the fuel gauge. So, 5 out of 10. So, pretty decent Grand Prix. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of The Fuel. Here in a little bit. Now that everything's caught up, next time you see me, it'll be with the hat on, and we'll be reviewing the Spanish Grand Prix basically right after it happens. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, which is a couple hours from now, this is the Packerman signing out.
Thank you for watching tonight's video. Be sure to like and subscribe, you rats!